Okay, in this section what we're going to have a look at is a new feature in iMovie 6 which is known as Themes. Themes is a really interesting way of adding a special kind of additional effect to the beginning of a film, to the ending of a film, or in some cases, although not in the filmmaking as in a film but maybe in a documentary, in the middle of the piece. And Themes allows you to add some animation with text and with some pictures and with some video. So over here we've got a few different options. You can choose from travel to road trip to pass through to reflection. We're going to go with travel. And we have some different themes here. If I click on open, you'll notice that over here in the screen it's going to load a preview for me. And here you notice that there are, I'm just going to click off drop zones for a second, we'll come back to that. Here you notice we have a preview of an animated piece with a map and loads of blank spaces. For example, it says title there, and you notice that there was some black going around there, these black spaces here. Well, Themes allows us to fill those with our own specified media, whether it be video, pictures, and then at the very end of it, which was just down here, is title. We can fill that with text. So I'm just going to pause that for a second. And in title, I'm going to write Kieran's movie. And you'll notice when the text comes up, there's Kieran's movie. Oh, the I was a capital I there, we get rid of it. So just Kieran's movie. So now what I want to do is I'd like to add some media into these drop zones. That's what they're called because we can put stuff into them. So over here we had show drop zones, and down here you notice we have this grey box. Now I can move this box anywhere I like. I'm just going to move it up here so we can see it a little bit better. And it has 1, 2, 3. Each one of these are representing the different boxes here. So I can add stuff into them. Well, if I go into clips, I can add some clips into them. So let's pick this clip. I should really have taken out the clapperboard, but it's just to show you, give you an example. And the plus sign appears, and once the plus sign appears, we can drop it. And I'll pick another one. Let's say we'll click on this one and click drag and drop till the plus sign appears and drop it. Now if we look at the preview, what should happen is, there we go, the clips are actually going in, and it's video because the video is moving. So, but I'd like to add in some pictures into these other 4 drop zones here. So I can go into media, and in photos I have some pictures. Some of them are schools, some of them are people filming. So just for the sake, I'm just going to drop one in there. I'm going to drop this one of the feature boards in there. I'm going to drop this one in here. I'm going to drop Jerry May, who's talking and presenting, in there. Now I'm just going to move the drop zones out of the way, and let's have a look and let's see the preview now. Okay, that's Kieran's movie, so let's have a look at the whole thing. And we should get, there we go, moving images, stills, pictures, and we get a very professional looking opening to our film, which will also match your DVD if you want to make the DVD later on. And you can see Jerry May in the background there. She's actually in the ghosted print in the background. So that's the opening of our sequence. If we like that, I'm just going to click the X to get rid of the drop zones, so I can still see them here. If we like that, we can actually go into Themes, and we can place our playhead at the very beginning of the timeline and click Apply. And what happens is iMovie begins to open and make the opening sequence. Now, do allow it a few seconds and sometimes a few minutes to make it, because there's a lot in it. You've got to make the video, you've got to make everything else. Now, iMovie has dropped the clip down, and you'll notice there is a red mark here. This is what's called a rendering mark. And what it's doing right now is the computer is actually making the clip for you, because it doesn't really exist. It has to make and mix all the maps and the videos and text together. And once that red mark goes all the way to the end, then that clip is then ready to be viewed in properly. Now if I click play right now, what will happen is this sometimes will go white or it'll go black, or sometimes it'll play but it'll be jittery. And the reason it's jittery is because the computer is still spending a lot of the processing time trying to render and make the clip. Now notice though, if I click on, let's say, chapter 2, it will give me a preview, and here in chapter 2, this other template, there's only 2 drop zones, and so it's taken the first 2 drop zones I had that I'd used already, and it's putting them into the clip. So let me just change that. Let me just bring in some media, and we're going to change it to 2 different pictures. We'll go for this picture here, drag it and drop it over, and we'll go for this picture here. Now you'll see that we've got a really nice different way. And this might be useful in a documentary if you were going to scene 2 or chapter 2 in the documentary. But in the filmmaking process, it would be very rare you find that you use something like this. Most of the time, you might use it at the very beginning of the film, and you might use it at the very end. A useful way of using it, maybe if we go into themes there for a second, and let me just go to, I just click on the X and click on Themes. And this time I'm going to the drop down zone and I'm going to pick on just different templates. For this one, here's a reflection black, which are different kinds of templates. And if I click on bumper, you'll see that we'll get a lot of black, of course, and to see the different pictures that we had put in at the beginning, they're there. Which you could also put video in here, and you could have this at the end as a blooper section, where all your bloopers are going in, and you could see the different mistakes that people make. So that has rendered. The clip down here is now the red has gone away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the storyboard mode, and we'll see that, well, my opening is actually wrong. It's at the very end of my film. I don't want it there. I want it at the beginning. So do you remember earlier we were talking about rearranging the clips? Well, you can click on the clip, move it. The clips will move out of the way, all the way to the beginning, drag and drop. And now what I'm going to do is click on that clip and play. And here you go. There is my clip that we just made using Themes. And it goes all the way through all the pictures. Jerry May's in the background, and we should get our text as well. And of course I can change that text if I wanted to by in Themes. Let's go back to the one we were in, which was travel, and clicking on open. You can actually go in and change the text, which will in a second pop up here. Now it does take a few seconds using iMovie because of the fact that it's creating something that doesn't exist. And there you go, you can write in your title and change Kieran's movie to anything you want. And that's how you can use Themes in iMovie.